Hi, I'm Cameron from the Fish Market Restaurants. While you can't join us in person, we wanted to find a way to bring our experience to you at home. We thought we might be able to do that through our recipes. So we are going to start taking one recipe each week and potentially a cocktail as well, and preparing that recipe for a home cook, putting it up on our website, and then including some pictures of what our plate looks like. We'd love to see pictures of yours if you make them as well. And today I'm going to do a couple little demos of the recipe. I am not one of our talented grill chefs, so my husband's going to be assisting me a little bit in that department, and we'll just kind of see how this goes. So our first recipe today is going to be our ginger lime prawns. These we serve over a cilantro coleslaw. So the recipe is going to break it down into three parts: making the ginger lime marinade for the shrimp, making the cilantro sauce for the coleslaw, and that will also drizzle on top of the shrimp when they're done, and then assembling the plate and actually grilling the shrimp. Right now, I know one of the biggest struggles that our guests are having out there as they're shopping and preparing food at home is finding all of the items. So I went to the grocery store to do this today. I did not get everything that the recipe calls for exactly, so I'm just kind of doing my best. I'll go ahead and show you here what I did get. So the recipe calls for 16 by 20 shrimp. I couldn't find any of those large shrimp, and especially since I preferred to get the wild caught variety, so I bought these frozen ones. I'm going to go ahead and defrost them. They're much smaller, so I'm just going to use a handful more than the recipe calls for. I also couldn't find a coleslaw mix. That's a great option. So I'm going to make my own, just like we do in the restaurant, with cabbage and carrots. Lots of cilantro, fresh limes, ginger, and garlic were no problem for me. I don't have white sugar at home, so I'm going to use this organic palm sugar that I do have. One ingredient I forgot to mention is the wine, which is something I like to include when I'm cooking from home, even if it's not a part of the recipe. A great pairing for today's ginger lime prawns would be a Riesling, something semi-sweet or dry in style like the J-Lore that we usually carry at the fish market, but I couldn't find that at the grocery store. So instead what I went with was this Dow Sauvignon Blanc from Paso Robles. This is something that we do also carry at the fish market, and it's really light and refreshing, and it should pair well with the dish today. I've gone ahead and gotten my mise en place together for this recipe. The first thing I did was roughly chop the green cabbage and shred some carrots in for color. So this is the coleslaw mix. I have the cilantro leaves here. The minced ginger, it's a little bit rougher than I think I'd like, but it'll probably be okay. I have the garlic, which is going in the blender anyway, so I just gave that a very rough chop. I also have lime juice separated out, one for the sauce and one for the marinade, and then the chopped cilantro as well. I also did, and this is just a little trick, zest my lime before I went ahead and juiced it, and I'm going to freeze this zest and save it to use as a rim for a margarita with some salt and sugar. Perhaps we'll do a market margarita later this week. I've added all the ingredients for the cilantro sauce to my food processor and pulsed a couple times to combine. Now, while it's running, I'm going to slowly add the half cup of olive oil that I've measured out so that it emulsifies and gets everything together in a really nice consistency.
Cool.
Okay, so I have here my shrimp. I also have the ginger lime marinade that I combined, no blending required. This is the cilantro sauce for the coleslaw that I did blend. I am going to set aside about 2 tablespoons to use to dress my finished plate, and then the rest I'm just going to go ahead and pour right on here and mix in. That looks like a little heavy for me, so I'm going to leave a little bit more to the side. And I'll do the same here with the marinade, and then I'm going to refrigerate this shrimp for 15 minutes, let it all set in after I've tossed it, and then we'll head to the grill. Okay, hi again everybody. This is my husband Ryan. He's going to be assisting me with the shrimp grilling today, so he's going to go ahead and give you guys a couple tips. Hold on.
Okay, this recipe calls for skewers. We didn't have any, so we decided that we're going to cook with a grill grate today. What I like to do before I start cooking is oil the pan. What this does is it just kind of allows everything not to stick while you're cooking. Simplest way to do it is to just get some oil in a little cup like this, paper towel, just rub it down. It's not gonna burn you. It's really important, especially when you're cooking fish that cooks really fast. It tends to stick to the grill. Okay, now we're gonna put the shrimp on. You wanna make sure that you get them all down. You wanna not dump the sauce onto the grill. If you dump the sauce, it's gonna cause the flames to flame up, and you'll get more of a charred taste. You don't want that. It does seem tedious, but it's important to do it this way.
We are at the final step, which is plating the Fish Market's Cilantro Coleslaw and ginger lime prawns. I'm just gonna put a heaping scoop of coleslaw here on the plate and then pile some of these prawns on top. If you had used skewers, crossing them across the top would look really beautiful, but I think that this is gonna look nice with all of the color anyway. After I've got the prawns on there, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of that cilantro sauce we had set aside just to give it another kick of flavor. Maybe on the side of the plate too for decoration. How about that? And we're finished. I hope you take a chance and try making the Fish Market's ginger lime prawns and cilantro coleslaw at home while we are closed at the restaurant. And until we can welcome you back in again, cheers. I hope if I continue doing this for you, I'm better at it next week.